Welcome guys to another tutorial, and this one is about arrays and everything remaining with Objective-C. So arrays, as you know, in OOP, it is the difference between arrays in other languages and in Objective-C is that Objective-C deals with elements inside the arrays as objects, not just any data types. So an array element must be an object, and what is meant by objects is, for example, a string. A string is an object, and an instance of any class, like the rectangle class we've done before, is an object too. So the good thing is we can store any element, or any element can be of any object. So I can have an array, for example array 1, that contains at index 0 a string, and at index 1 an integer number, at index 2 let's say an instance of rectangle. So anything can be inside these arrays. So let's take an example of an array of strings. To define an array, you have, of course it is an NS array. To define an array, you have to type NS array star the name of your array, which is here fruit. Then you have to allocate it with some objects. So NS array with objects is the method that we call to fill some elements inside this array. So in my case, I've created an array which is called fruit, and I assign to it some objects that are strings, apple, banana, and mango. And of course at the end of your array you have to tell it that this is the end of my array. So in C we use the /o, and in C++ we use the null. So I guess it's null, yeah. In Objective-C we use a small letter nil, just to indicate that this is the end of our array. So this is all for declaring and initializing an array. And of course, if you want to access any instance of it, any element of it, you just have to use this method, which is called object and at index. So you put the name of your array, then object at index, and in my case it's 2. So probably if we say that apple is 0, banana 1, and mango is 2, so mango will be printed out to the command line. Next is the mutable array. Just like the others, the NS string and the mutable string, so this is a mutable array where every element can be replaced or accessed and modified. Okay, this may be a little scary, but let me just clarify things out. So first of all, this is called an NS mutable array. Mutable arrays should be assigned with a capacity, or just ask yourself, how many elements will I fill in this array? So just give a random number, or a number that is somehow close to the number that you want to fill the number of your elements. So in my case, let's say I want to use nearly 24. You can use any number if you want. For example, if your array is so big, like 1,000 elements, so just type 1,000. It's just a memory allocation and management stuff. But by the way, if your array exceeds, like in my case 24, then it will automatically be increased, and you have and you don't have to worry. So how to initialize an NS mutable array? So you type NS mutable array, the star, the name of your array, which is counter here. Then you have to use this method, array with capacity. So NS mutable array with capacity, and in my case it's a 24. Okay, I've done some example here to fill some values in my immutable array, but it's not that important. One more thing is NS dictionary. NS dictionary is just a or is made up of two things: the object and the key. So it's just like calling a a whole sentence using one word. It's just like a normal dictionary. In a normal dictionary, if you want to find, let's say, the meaning of the word apple, you go to your dictionary and type apple, and you will get instead the definition. So, and this is still the same case, but you can use it in another ways. So, let's say I want to say this sentence, hello, this dictionary example, and use it more than one time, or use it but I don't remember exactly what it is. So I just, in my example, if I typed nslog mydic, which is the name of my dictionary, then I typed object for key welcome, I will get this sentence as an output. Okay, let me rephrase everything. So first of all, if I want um, to create a new dictionary, I'll type ns mutable dictionary, then the name of my dictionary, then I just allocate it. Okay. The next thing is setting the object and the key. So it's only my dictionary's name, which is here, then set object, then give it an object, and after that I have to assign a key for it. So whenever I want the object to be shown, I only type the key for that, and the object will be directly shown. So if I want to print this sentence, I just call the method and send the argument welcome, and this nslog will give an output of hello, this is a dictionary example. This is all for dictionaries. Now this is an important point. The synthesize accessor methods. Sorry if I'm rushing things, but I think that iOS development is much more important than Objective-C, and I'm just giving you the main things with Objective-C. Just covering the basics, not more. So if you want any further assistance, go to other tutorials or books or anything. But you'll see then that only this material will be covered with iOS development, and these are the main things. So what about synthesize accessor method? If I have a class called rectangle, an instance of this class called rect, and I want to use it, I simply I have to set setters and getters to access these arguments inside it, like the width or the height, and I have to call the the set method and give it and pass an argument for it. Then if I want to use this value of the width, for example, I have to call a get method. Now, using this property and synthesize, and I show you how to use them later on, you will be able to use the dot notation. So rect.width equal 40 can be only used if we've implemented the add property and add synthesize in our .h and .m file, and I'll show you later on how to use them. Okay, inheritance is just like OOP. You use the colon and then the class you want to inherit from. This is not an important thing. Overriding a method, you have three conditions to override a method. The two methods have to be with the same name, the same return type, and the same number of arguments. ID is a little new, or I don't know if you're familiar with it, but ID is a data type just like int, float, double anything. So what's so special about ID can can hold any value. So if I have an integer x with a value of 50, I created an ID called y. I can assign the value of x to y, so y is now 50. If I print y, it will say 50. Now I have a new character C called C, holding the letter A. If I assign to y the value of the variable C, I will get on the output that y is equal to a character A. So y is actually an ID or an integer of type ID that can hold any value. And this is all for Objective-C. In the next tutorial we will be getting into some more action and fun, and stay tuned and goodbye.